What's up, everybody? Mike Ghebray back again. It's been a while since I made my last video, but um, I wanted to check in with everybody again and see how we're doing on in 2019 on our resolutions, or I'm not going to call it a resolution, but the changes that you wanted to make for 2019. How are you doing on those? Are you sticking to what you said you were going to do? 3 months. We're halfway through March. 3 months is a long time, or 2.5 months is a long time to see if you are changing, like you said you would. So the purpose of this video is to follow up on something that I did bring up previously, and I want to give it a little more attention, a little more time, because I think it's very important and it deserves that. So on a previous video, I touched briefly on conscious mind, subconscious mind, conscious mind and subconscious mind. I didn't go into depth as to what those are. Some of you already know, but this is for the people who don't know, who've never really looked into this stuff. So I'll do it by, if you've never heard of Earl Nightingale, maybe look him up. But Earl Nightingale, he says, and this is true, but he says that the mind, there's two capacities that your mind is operating on: conscious, which is thought, and subconscious, which is basically programmed behavior based on society programming you, parents programming you, friends, family, everything. So the conscious mind is you paying attention and actively doing something, actively thinking something. And contrary to popular belief, you mostly run on subconscious. You mostly are just running on learned behavior, learned patterns. That's why you seem to see yourself in kind of a rut, or a lot of patterns where you're doing the same thing whether you like it or not. You may not like the outcome, but you just see yourself on this loop behavior. It's because you're working on that subconscious mind. So, and when you are working on the subconscious mind, a few scary things. Number one is you won't know that you are. You'll think that you're consciously doing something, but you're not. And number two, this is a big number. This is a big fact that when I first heard it kind of alarmed me, but humans run 95% on their subconscious mind. So 95% of what you do is just patterns from learned behavior. 95%. Think about that. How successful can you expect yourself to be in anything when 95% of your action is unconscious? It's just reactions from learned behaviors. Not very. So the really successful people, a lot of them, most of them actually understand that. They know conscious versus subconscious, and they don't bother, like most people, they don't bother trying to use willpower or the conscious mind to do things. What they do instead is reprogram their subconscious mind, because that's going to control 95% of their actions. So they would rather spend their conscious time reprogramming their subconscious mind. So hopefully you got that. So 5% of what you do is based on conscious thought, new thought, interactive thought. 95 is based on learned unconscious behavior that you will not even know. It's almost like sleepwalking. 95% is based on that. So what they do is they spend the 5% mostly training their 95%. Okay? So back to Earl Nightingale. He said that the subconscious mind is like, it's like a field. Okay? It's like a field. And the conscious mind plants these thoughts in that field. And like a field, you can grow poison or you can grow food. And obviously the earth does not care what you plant. It's just going to give you the fruit of your seed. And this is the same thing. So your mind is the same way. Your conscious mind is always planting seeds. And the worst part of this is you're not the only one that's planting in your garden. Everybody's planting in your garden. The problem is there's no gardener to tend to that garden. So I know that's basically just a metaphor, but your mind is like a garden. You probably have heard that. You are the gardener. To a certain age, everybody planted in your garden, and now they still do, but at least you're old enough to pay attention and plant more good than bad based on what you deem to be good and what you want to happen. So 95% based on subconscious thoughts, your behaviors. And again, that's why you're on this pattern and loop. So how do you do that? Well, the way you reprogram the subconscious mind to do what you want to do is, one, vision board. If you haven't heard of that, a vision board is basically where you take, a poster board and you put different pictures, different sayings of what you would like to be your reality on that vision board, and you place it in a place that you're going to see daily. So what that does is it's starting to reprogram your subconscious mind, because you don't really need to pay attention for it to sink in. Actually, the less attention you pay to it, but you just see it, the more it sinks in. That's one. Reading is another thing. As much time as other people spend programming you, you need to spend that time reprogramming. So get some books, get some audio of what you need to hear. Not always what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. There's a lot of people on YouTube that would be very beneficial for you to listen to. But spend time listening to audio, spend time reading books as much as you can, and kind of combating what you hear from everyone else all day, every day. Another way to do it, obviously, is to be quiet, to meditate, to take time to clear your mind and get a separation between yourself and your thoughts. There is a space between yourself, your actual self, and your thoughts. Most people don't have that space. They can't even sense that space, but there is. So really the point of this video was to just really dive into what a conscious mind is and what your subconscious mind is, what they're doing. If you start paying attention, you'll see what your subconscious mind is programmed with when you start thinking, what is it that I believe? Who is it that I have become? How did I get this way? And you start asking these questions, and it'll start to reveal itself. But use your conscious mind to program your subconscious mind, because just like when you're driving somewhere, 9 times out of 10, when you get to where you needed to go, you don't remember the trip. You don't remember what you saw. You don't even remember driving, stopping, going. That's because your subconscious mind did the work. Your subconscious mind got you from point A to point B. When you first learned how to drive, that was not the case. You were paying attention. You were terrified. You were checking your left, checking your right, really aware of your surroundings. But once you get relaxed, that's a whole different story. Obviously, you're not paying attention. You're texting while you drive. You're reading while you drive. Sometimes you're putting on your makeup. You're eating because your subconscious took over the driving duties, because you don't have to consciously do that anymore. It's autopilot, just like life, autopilot. So this video is extremely long, but very important. If this is something that was beneficial to you, make sure that you leave me a comment, you leave me a like, share this video with others, because I'm going to elaborate more and probably give more examples or more ways to train your mind. But if you don't train your mind, you will not get lasting change. You probably won't get any change, but you certainly won't get lasting change if you don't reprogram your mind and understand conscious versus subconscious, and make sure that you're using them to your benefit, because like we said earlier, it can be used against you. Anything you plant there will grow. You will reap your harvest regardless of what it is. So, all right, until next time, like I said, leave me some comments, likes, shares. I love you guys. Go get it.